Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how we can set up the ECS cluster, which is the Elastic Container Service with AWS, and we are going to set up that through Terraform, and we're going to learn the ECS Service Discovery, right? And also, we are going to see some of the debugging stuff, the issues usually DevOps or developer face regarding the ECS, right? So guys, what I've done, I've created a repository for you guys. And in this repository, I've set up the Terraform code. We are going to provision all infrastructure through step by step, right? And let me navigate to my channel. And if you just type ECS, you see in past, I've created this video regarding the ECS service discovery, and now we are going to set up pretty much the same stuff, but some of the stuff which we are going to cover is the new stuff like the innovation from the AWS side, which is the AWS Service Connect. I've added in the Terraform code. If you want to know what is the AWS Service Connect, simply navigate to this official video,
service
and
in
in
the
this
configured
video,
namespace.
everything they have described regarding that particular service. Right? So this is the official AWS channel, and you can learn about that. So I'm not going to cover which has already been covered in detail by AWS, and right. So you can see that particular video if you want to see the detail what AWS Service Connect is, right? So in general, it is more of a additional functionality which provides regarding the retries in your service if you want to do that, and give you a lot more, for instance, if you use Istio in Kubernetes, so that sort of functionality is now provided by AWS, right? So anyway, now what we are going to do, we are going to provision our infrastructure in AWS. So I've already logged in into my sandbox environment, guys. What you need to do, you need to clone this repository. Let me do that. So instead of SSH, you can do HTTPS because this is the public repository. So I own this repository. That's why I'm using SSH, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a shell into my running container. So let me do that. And in that container, I've already logged in with my credentials. So if I do docker ps, this is my container, right? So I'm going to take a shell into that, and I have all the stuff already ready in this in this particular shell. I mean, in this particular container, right? So what I'm going to do, in fact, I've already cloned this repo, right? So you need to simply clone this, and I'm going to open this in my VS Code. Because the first step is that we are going to set up the network, right? So, excuse me. So let me clone this, right? And what I'm going to do, let me show you this part. We are going to first of all provision the network. So first of all, let me open this in another tab as well. So just a minute. We are going to cover also the README as well. So in order to set up the backend for our infrastructure through AWS, we are going to create this particular bucket. So you need to simply copy this particular command and paste in your shell. You need to make sure you log in with the access keys and secret access keys. I mean, the problematic access should be available in your account, right? So the bucket is created, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to enable the versioning in that particular bucket. So let me do that. Sorry, paste it again, and the versioning is enabled. So if I navigate to my S3 bucket, we'll see the one bucket is going to be available, right? And in that particular bucket, we are going to provision our infrastructure, right? So this is the bucket which we are going to use, right? And currently we don't have any infrastructure. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to VPC section, and I'm going to do Terraform init, and do Terraform apply dash auto dash approve. So, guys, what it does, it is going to download this remote PPC um, module, right? And it is going to then apply that. So I'm going to cover the code now regarding the VPC. So guys, this is our backend. So let me tell you about the backend. This is the bucket we have already set up through our AWS CLI, right? And in that particular key, we are going to create directory with the name Terraform. In that Terraform, we will add our VPC directory. In that VPC, we will store our Terraform state, right? So it is now provisioning the infrastructure. Regarding the infrastructure, it is the network which we are looking, and in that particular network, we are looking to deploy our ECS cluster, right? So, guys, this is the official VPC module publicly available at the Terraform registry, right? And we are going to use this particular slider. You can use any slider of your choice, but this in this demo, I'm going to cover three AZs along with the private public subnets. We are going to use one NAT gateway, right? So single NAT gateway true to save the cost. Anyway, create database subnets, enable DNS host and DNS support. This is our network, guys. So pretty much basic stuff. So once the deployment has been completed, what it does, I will show you the backend and the happening at the backend stage. You should be able to see some of the stuff available, right? Till then, what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate back to this area, application load balancer. Regarding the application load balancer, what we need to make sure we should get HTTPS. We are going to create the ACM certificate. So guys, this is the domain we are going to use, right? And uh, let me show you this part. Okay, so let me open this domain. So this is the domain, guys, saklanmushtaq.com, right? This is the domain we are going to use, right? And we are going to set up the certificate ACMs through this command, and we are going to validate by entering the DNS entries by updating the CNM records in our public hosted zone, right? So this is my public hosted zone, guys. I need to add the entries here, right? So let me show you. First of all, I need to run the particular command. So guys, our VPC is ready. First of all, navigate to the VPC section, simply refresh it. You will see the Terraform directory is created. In that, we have the VPC directory and our state file is stored here, right? So now what I'm going to do, just to give you more understanding, I'm going to um, I'm going to take one more shell, although we can also do the CD, but I'm going to show you the stuff regarding um, the different directories. So instead of doing that, so what we will be doing now, CD into Terraform, ECS, and we are now at the application load balancer section. So we will be running these commands regarding the request. So guys, this is the certificate ARN. What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this guy. Although this certificate is not yet validated, but what I need to do, let me navigate to this section and open it, open the ELB section, main TF. What you need to do is to simply update the certificate, and definitely you need to update your domain or public domain if you have any. So, and if you don't want HTTPS, you can skip this part as well. So I'm covering some of the production ready stuff, guys. So we updated the uh, our certificate ARN. And if I open this in another tab and I'm going to navigate to the ACM, simply type ACM here. So navigate to the certificate manager, right? In this section, you will see you need to navigate to the list certificates, click the list certificates section. We need to update the DNS record. So we are actually requesting for this wildcards.saklanmushtaq.com and the and this naked domain name saklanmushtaq.com, right? So this is the root domain. So what I'm going to do, these are same CNAME records, so it will provide us the certificate, although you can add certificates for the multiple domains here, right? So anyway, I'm going to navigate to my public hosted zone, click the edit. This is a Cloudflare free account, right? You can create that as well if you want. So it has a lot of benefits regarding the management of your DNS. So I'm going to save it. Let's do that, and definitely it will take some time regarding the propagation, and we will shortly see that certificate is going to be issued, which is the wildcard certificate, right? So anyway, so now what we are going to do, I'm going to cover some of the stuff regarding press control C here, right? So let me do ls here. So I'm going to use the same command terraform init and terraform apply dash auto dash approve, right? So what it does, it will do exactly the same and download the module in .terraform directory. So if I navigate to this section, you see this is the directory where it is going to download the module from the from the remote registry, right? And regarding that backend, let me show you the stuff regarding a little bit more details. So guys, this is the backend. Backend, we are going to use the same bucket, right? In that bucket, we are not going to use the same directory. You see, Terraform is the same, but we are going to store our state file regarding the application load balancer in this section, right? So it will create a new directory ALB and store the state of the application load balancer in that particular directory, right? So we are slowly building our infrastructure. So if I navigate to the ALB section in the main TF, guys, what we are doing here, we need the details of VPC. So that detail we are going to pull from the remote state, which is actually the VPC. So how it comes, it will navigate to that particular bucket in that directory. You see, I've already told you guys regarding the VPC state is stored there. It is going to pull the data regarding the VPC. But if I navigate to the VPC section, if I navigate to open this VPC in another tab, in VPC, we will get all output of our module, and from that output is which is going to be the input for this module, right? Which is the application load balancer, and which we are covering here. So guys, this is also the remote module, managed module, which we are going to use, and we are going to call this Cloud Geeks ALB. We are going to use this security group regarding our HTTP and HTTPS, right? And excuse me. So we do have listener rules. One listener rule for port 80 and two listener rules for 443. So definitely this ARN we just already updated. So if I navigate to this section, the provisioning of application load balancer has begun. And regarding the first rule on port 80, we are going to do the redirection, right? So this is the redirection, right? It is going to use the default um, target group. So we are going to create the two target groups. One is going to be the defaults. I'm going to show you that below. And the other is going to be the for our application, which is the Python application. So this is the name of the target group, Python application, and one is going to be the default, right? So regarding the 443 rule, guys, we are going to use this section if the path is, path pattern is slash and the host header is path, Python dash app .com. It is going to route to this. So where these two guys are living, these are living here. So these are the target groups. You see, default instance. You can call this anything. You can even call this default target group. The name of this target group is going to be default, and this is the Python app which I've shown you above. This is the uh, Python app. This one target group is actually we are creating here, and the name of that target group is going to be Python app. To make it work with Fargate, the target type should be IP, right? And we have enabled the cross load balancing, and this is the basic stuff regarding that. Delete protection, I set it to false. Definitely you can enable that. So if I navigate to this section, our load balancer should be ready. If I navigate to the S3 bucket backend, click the Terraform, you see one directory has been created. In that particular directory, we have the application load balancer state has been stored, right? So if I navigate to EC2 section, click this EC2, you will see one application load balancer has been available. So this is our load balancer, guys, right? So click this and you see this load balancer is now active. And if you click this load balancer, you will see two listeners, 80 and 443. 80 has this rule, redirect to HTTPS, one rule. Along with that, we have two rules. So click the two rules which we have already discussed. So by default, default rule, I set it up with no priority, which means this is the last. It will get last by default, and the priority for the first rule is going to be if the path is slash and the host header is python-app.com, it should push to this target group. So navigate to this target group. Let me scroll it down. So these are the target groups, right? And you will see these target groups are going to be associated with our application load balancer, which we have discussed, right? So by default, the target group default has type instance, and this is what we need for our ECS application, right? So this is going to be Python front end application, right? And okay, this part is done. Now what we're going to do, we are going to set up our ECS cluster. So navigate back to the Terraform code and we are going to set up our ECS cluster. So I'm going to take one more shell. Okay, guys, to give you more understanding and visibility, so I'm going to exec and take interactive shell into my sandbox container, right? And I'm going to do cd into Terraform ECS, and we are going to set up our ECS cluster. So we need to definitely we need to have one cluster. So similar stuff regarding that we are going to do, which we have already done for our setup. So what I'm going to do, let me navigate to the README MD. Right. So and then okay, first provision the ECS cluster, right? So let me do the similar command terraform init and terraform apply dash auto dash approve, right? So make sure you should not have any typos, right? So let's discuss this part. So this is our backend, guys. So our backend is going to be ECS. You can add anything you want. I've added ECS. You can add ECS cluster as well regarding this particular directory inside the Terraform. So that is where it's going to store the state, right? And our ECS cluster state is going to be stored there, right? So we don't need this section. So let me get rid of this. And if I navigate to this Terraform you'll see the new directory is going to be shortly available regarding our uh, ECS cluster, right? So, okay, this part is done. So, this is also, guys, the remote module. I mean, you can easily set up the ECS cluster with the basic Terraform TF file, but I'm using the remote module. So guys, here what I'm doing, what we need regarding this module, we need the details regarding the VPC. We need the details regarding the application load balancer because of the target group, right? So this is the manage module. I've added the link of that particular registry, and we are using the latest version uh, at the time of this recording. So the name of the cluster is going to be ECS Cloud Geeks. So regarding the cluster setting, guys, I've enabled the container insights. You will see all the monitoring regarding your containers, the CPU, the memory utilization, and the configuration regarding the log group we are going to store here, right? So Fargate capacity providers and Fargate spot, you can uh, read about these, what these are. I'm not going to cover in this video because the length is going to be too much. In past, I've already covered that the capacity providers, right? So, and the tags we are going to use the DevOps development, right? So our ECS cluster has been provisioned. So what we are going to do now, open one more tab and let's try to refresh it first. You should be able to see that ECS cluster is available and the state of that particular cluster is stored here. If I navigate to, sorry, I should type um, ECS, ECS. Simply type ECS here, Elastic Container Service, right? And then we are going to navigate to ECS. So guys, this is our ECS cluster. If I go to this section ECS cluster, our ECS cluster is available. Currently, we don't have any namespace. What namespace it is using, we are going to set it up. And regarding that, this cloud map is going to create the private hosted zone. And let me show you that part as well. So we are going, this is used for service discovery. And also we are going to add one of the stuff regarding the Service Connect as well. So, guys, now it's time to create our services, right? And now for that, what we need to do, first of all, I'm going to describe my VPC. So this is the VPC I've set up. I need a VPC ID. So let me take one more shell, and we are going to run those particular command into that particular shell, right? So into sandbox, right? And if I do mnt into Terraform. So we have this directory ECS service, which is the last part we are covering, and some of the debugging stuff I'm going to show you. So guys, this is our VPC. You will see the two, I mean, this is the default and this is what we have set up regarding the Cloud Geeks VPC, right? In this particular VPC, we are going, in fact, we have already set up our ECS cluster and we need a VPC ID regarding that. So let me let me just paste this particular ID here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to update this. So we are going to create a cloud map through CLI, although you can create through Terraform as well, but we are going to create through AWS CLI. There are different methods and different ways to set it up. So I'm going to update the VPC ID, right? So let me do that. We need to simply copy this VPC ID and paste it here and run this particular command. So what it does, guys, it is going to provision the cloud map. It will take some time. And if you straight away list the cloud map right now, you will see nothing. So if I do the list like service discovery list namespaces, this is the command to list the namespaces. Okay, for that. You see, currently we don't have any namespace. We need to wait for a while. So let me show you from the section of the console. Okay, first of all, navigate to in the Route 53, what happened at the back end regarding that command, you will see the public and private hosted zone living in this Route 53, right? And it will take some time. You see this hosted zone, which is the private hosted zone cloud map for service discovery has been created with this particular command, and these two entries by default it has, right? So if I navigate to the ECS section, you see the namespaces. This is the namespace ID. And if I run that particular command again, so okay, sorry. Run this particular command, you should be able to see that namespace is available, which is the private hosted zone. These are the yeah, I mean IDs and ARN of that particular namespace, right? So this is what happened. So this DNS name is going to be used for the service discovery, right? So guys, now what we are going to do, or what we need to do regarding that, navigate back to the README MD section, right? So also what I'm going to do, I'm going to create some of the secret which we are going to use in my container. Although these are not required, these are just the sample stuff which we can use. And just to give you the demonstration that the secret string with the AWS SSM parameter store, we are going to use along with the basic normal naked environment variables, right? So if I have a secret and I want to make that secret available in my containers. So regarding that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a command. So I'm going to run this particular command, right? So it will create a secret string. So you can add multiple entries in that particular string, but I'm going to create one more entry regarding that, and let me run this particular command again. So we need to update some of the environment variables. So let me show you from the UI. So, okay, and if I click this guy and if I navigate to the SSM, simply navigate to SSM, type SSM here, right? System Manager. In System Manager, you can store your secrets, although you can use the AWS Secret Manager as well. But for ECS, I do recommend to use as a parameter store because it has some issues if you are use the pragmatic Terraform code or uh, regarding the secrets, right? So this is the SSM manager. Yeah, you should be able to see the parameter store. You need to click this guy, and the parameter store you will see the two secrets are going to be created. And if I click this guy, and the secret string is secure, type is secure. So if I click this guy, you will see you should be able to retrieve your secret. So what we need to do, we need to simply upgrade the ARN of that particular secret. So if I navigate back to my cluster and sorry, if I navigate back to my ECS service section, we need to provision the services. So guys, Python app has a dependency of Redis. If Redis is not available, this service is not going to work. So what we need to do, navigate to this section. So let me show you the stuff like regarding the same stuff regarding our services. Each services will be living in our backend S3 as a separate directory, and it is the state file is going to be stored separately. So your infrastructure will be very safe, right? So and versioning is enabled as well. So guys, regarding the Redis, I'm going to create this particular directory, and the state of that particular Redis is going to be stored here, right? So then this is the container definition.tpl. You don't have to do anything regarding that. I'm going to show you. This is the default setting regarding log groups, environment, secret, port mappings. I've already done that. So what we need to do, we need to update the locals. First of all, the same stuff we need the VPC details, which we are going to fetch from our remote state. We need the details regarding the application load balancer, but in Redis, we are not going to make this service available in the target group. but this I've added here, right? Although this part is going to be not played below, but in Python app, it is going to be available. So if you don't want to add or remove, you can do that as well. So this is the remote state. I've done typo here. It should be the ECS cluster, right? So let me update this part. So guys, this part is updated regarding the remote state, right? And the labels, and then the locals. Locals are the variables which we are going to use. So the cluster name is going to be fetched through the remote state, and we are going to, fetch the states, and we are going to store this in this particular cluster name variable. Later on, we are going to use it definitely below. Region is going to be US East 1. You can update according to your. So guys, we need to update the namespace. ARN namespace name is going to be this one, and you can use any name namespace ID. So you can simply see from that UI as well, but I've added the command as well. For instance, list namespace command gives us all the stuff which we need. So if I simply type this particular command, this is the information we need to update, although this is already available in the UI. Let me show you that part. So if I navigate to, okay, yeah, namespace, this is the namespace ID, and regarding the ARN and the name of that namespace, right? So I'm going to do the updates. So let me close this part, and I need to update the services section. First of all, we are covering the dependency. So Redis, we need to update, and then I'm going to show you the roles, which are pretty much the basic regarding the permission to pull the images from ECS and SSM store. Definitely, we need to add that permission, which I've already done that, right? So guys, this is the stuff I'm updating here. So simply, I'm going to update this stuff. Sorry, I need to add the ARN. So regarding the ID, let me do that. So I've copied the ID, right? So regarding the ARN, I'm going to simply copy this guy, right? And I'm going to update this section regarding the ARN. So name is pretty much the same, which we don't want to update. So the image is going to be Redis, and the container is going to be, and the container name is going to be Redis. Service name is going to be the same name I'm going to use. So I've added this variable. Port is going to be 6379. So guys, these are the naked variables. Although these variables are not required, I've added just to give you understanding, right? So these variables are required in Python application, because that Python application needs to contact this Redis, because it has a dependency. So this is the second variables, and you see the account ID is not updated. So, and the ARN is pretty much the same. So if I navigate to the parameter store here, right? So you see 7726 at the end. So I need to update this guy. So simply I'm going to replace Control F, and simply I'm going to replace this section both white, and let me also update this as well. It should replace both, but it has not done. Anyway, so I need to update this section because we have set up the two parameters. If we don't update, this will gives us an error. So just this is something which I'm showing you to give you the understanding how you can use the secrets, right? And the basic environment variables. And regarding the CI/CD, I do not recommend to use this Terraform code. Definitely regarding the CI/CD, I've already covered the videos. You can watch those particular videos, right? So guys, this part is updated, and some of the stuff which we need to use regarding the service discovery section. So we need to register the service. So if you navigate to this README MD, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to list the services, service discovery services. Currently, we don't have any services. So let me list the services. So currently, we don't have services. What I mean by that, instead of creating that particular services, I'm going to create through AWS CLI. So um, let me show you this command. So guys, I'm going to create one service. The name of the service is going to be Redis, and this is going to be available in that particular namespace. I need to update the namespace ID, right? And we need to update this namespace ID configuration as well. So what we need to do, simply copy this guy, right? And and if I paste this command here, so what I'm going to do, guys, I need to update this area regarding the namespace ID. So previously we done through the from the CLI, and if I navigate to this namespace area, right? So namespace ID, okay, like this guy. So this is the namespace ID. You can simply copy this and I'm going to do the right click here, and then also I need to update this namespace ID. So this is the namespace ID and the name of the service which is going to be available in our namespace. So let's try to run this particular command. So guys, this is the service ID and this is the ARN. We are going to copy this ARN, right? And we are going to update this particular ARN in our code. So if I scroll down, you see this is the task definition. We don't need to do anything regarding that. We already set up all through the from the environment variables. So and this is the CloudWatch log configuration which we are going to set it up. So regarding this service registry, I need to register that particular service, right, with our ECS service. So I'm going to simply update the ARN of that particular service. So let me show you. So make sure this is correct, right? And so guys, this service is going to be registered. If I navigate to the namespace area, so click the namespace section, right? And you might not able to find the services, but if you do run the list command, it will show. Sometimes this UI not show the services available, but I've added the link regarding that troubleshooting part, the stack flow as well. So if I run this particular command, you see, which I've already done it. So we can simply able to see which services are available. So Redis is the service. You see the name of the service is this, which is now available. Anyway, now we're going to set up the also add the AWS Service Connect configuration. You just need to add enable true local dot namespace ARN. This namespace ARN is going to be the one which we already set it up above, and discovery name is going to be the container name, right? And the port name is going to be the one which we already added in our container definition.tpl. So me let me show you part. This is the stuff which we are talking about. This is the port name, right? So Okay, this part is pretty much done and we don't have to do anything. And the DNS name is going to be the container name and the namespace name, which is the seclandmustang.com. And the container name is going to be Redis, which we set up, and the port is going to be 6379. Okay, regarding the network configuration. So as I told you guys, we don't need a load balancer. So this area is not available here. So I commented out to give you more understanding and visibility, and this health check is not going to be applicable here. So in Python application, we are going to add that in our target group. So that section is going to be available here. So these are the lifecycle policies anyway. I've added the service auto scaling as well. If you want to set up definitely the auto scaling and the scale in, scale out, we are going to set it up on the basis of CPU and the memory utilization, right? And also in my Python, I'm going to show you, I've added one more thing regarding the number of requests on the application load balancer, which we are going to cover. So things seems to be okay. In case of any error, we will debug it. So let's try to create our service, which is going to be the Redis. So let's do the similar stuff, Terraform init and Terraform apply dash auto dash approve. So guys, this will create first of all a task definition, and that particular task definition, it is going to add container, and then it is going to create service. Also, it is going to add, connect with service. So there is a typo. Let me update this. It is going to register the service with our namespace, which we set up in our cloud map, and then we are going to use the AWS Service Connect as well. So let's navigate to the UI. Let's navigate to, okay, this is our condition regarding our backend. So if I navigate to this Terraform, you see currently we have this setup. So regarding the task definition, you see shortly, if everything goes well, one task definition with the name Redis is going to be available, right? And okay, I forget to show you guys the roles. So regarding the roles, I set up the pretty much the basic stuff is the ECS roles.tf. So this is a role which is going to assume by the ECS container, right? And task execution role. It has the policies regarding the authentication token to uh, create log groups, has the ability to get pull the secrets, read on the secret from the parameter storage we have set up, added additional stuff regarding secret manager, and also get image from ECR as well if you set it up. And then we're going to do the attachment, right? So this is the stuff. So anyway, it is creating that part regarding our Redis. Let's see. And okay, I'm going to check it out. So if I navigate back to the task definition section, you see task definition is now available. So in this particular task definition, we have one container Redis, and we have provided the image and other settings. We can see the JSON as well regarding that, right? The port mappings, which we have already defined. Other stuff regarding the environment variables and the parameter store. So we can see from that container as well. So if I click this container and scroll it down, you see these are the environment variables, and some of the stuff which is secret is coming from the secret parameter store, right? So it is creating, seems to be an error. Okay, so usually it will show you this error that service already exists. So regarding that, I've already added the code. So if I navigate back to uh, navigate to namespace section. So that refresh, you see all those service is not shown, but it says the service already exists. So we have already added the error. So what we are going to do, let me debug this part and I will be back with you guys shortly. So guys, this is the error which usually come with the code regarding the Terraform. So what we are going to do, first of all, we are going to list service and we are going to, get rid of this Redis service and try to recreate that particular service, right? So, so let me do that. So what I'm going to do here, first of all, I'm going to list this particular service which we have set it up, and then we are going to get the ID of that particular service, right? So guys, this is the ID, right? And so this is the ID, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this particular ID, which is the service which we have already registered, that space, and we are going to simply delete this service, right? If I do list the services again, so I should not be able to see the services registered. So I'm going to use the same command and I'm going to simply copy this particular command, right? And I'm going to, I need to update um, regarding the namespace ID. So I'm going to use this particular command, right? And if I navigate back to this section, so if I navigate to the namespace and um, this is the namespace ID, simply copy this guy and simply paste it here. And also I need to update one more time in this area as well. So let's do that. Just wait for a while. So it has been created. So I need to simply copy this ARN just to make sure. So if I navigate to this section and let's try to press Control and Control V, you see we have this same ARN, right? So let's try to run the particular command again, right? We have already initialized it, so I'm going to get rid of this part initialization to Terraform apply and autofill. Let's see what's happened regarding that particular error. So it does come even if you create through the Terraform. So I've done some debugging regarding that, but this is actually coming on regular basis. So let's try to get rid of this. I've added the Stack Overflow link regarding that. So let's see what's happening again. So it is saying creating. So if it is work quickly, it should be just able to create the service quickly. Otherwise, if it is in this state, it gives the same error again and again. You see, it go up to 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So it will spit that error as well, right? So let me show you this part again. Because you see, the time has elapsed too much and it is going to create that error again. Because if you see the issues that if I navigate to this section regarding the cluster, our service is not yet created, and it will gives an error regarding that. So let's debug this guy, and I will be back with you guys shortly, and you will see definitely this sort of error regarding that. Although if you see the Terraform code, it is actually saying that we are going to set up all the stuff regarding the ECS service, right? And then the resources section. So I'm going to debug that, and I will update the issues. So as I discussed, guys, this video is not just relating to uh, ECS service discovery. I'm going to show you some of the debug stuff regarding the Terraform along with the service discovery in ECS as well. So guys, I've fixed that. Regarding the fix, I need to show you what I've added. I've added a depends on the auto scaling. So it has now dependencies on the ECS service. But the main part is now I need to show you what I have done. I have deleted the service and we have get the ARN of that service, right? So you see, let me show you this part. If we list the services, so this is how we list the service, right? So if we already create this service, what it does, it will throw an error that service has been already added. So from here, what would be the ARN? We need to simply copy this ARN, right? And we need to update this in this section where we register our service, because so what it does, it's try to create that. So we already done that, and then what we are going to do, we are going to simply delete it, right? So that is where we delete the service. So let me rerun the code again. So you see the service has been created successfully, the log configuration, environment variable, and all the stuff. So if I navigate back to the section, so this is the debug. I need to tell you that create service, take the ARN, put the ARN, and simply delete the service. This is the solution, right? You can note it down. So regarding that, I have already added commands, and I've already updated the dependencies which we need to have. So if I navigate back to the cluster section and try to refresh, you see one service has been already added, and you see we don't have any error, and we don't have any no changes in our infrastructure as code. So guys, this is the debug, but it has one issue. What the issue is that I need to tell you that we are using SSM parameter store, and we are using the default VPC security group, and this Redis is going to be continuously created and destroyed. And this task is, you see, although it is in pending state, but shortly you will see some of the stuff in the stops area. Why it is that? Because it is unable to pull the um secrets, right? So you will see why it's happening. Although we have already added the right policy section, right? And um, but what I need to tell you that regarding the task, so this task, if I navigate to this task section, and if I click this task, and if I navigate to the network binding, right? And let me do that. So guys, if we navigate to the configuration area, and if we click the networking section, right? And here, if we see the default security group, why it's failing, I'm going to show you the stuff, because SSM parameter is not living in our APC. It is a remote service living outside. If you see the inbound rules and outbound rules, we don't have anything. So if you have a good understanding regarding the network, how the security group behaves, you can easily do that. So the issue here is, guys, we need to update the outbound rules, because the outbound traffic to SSM is not happening. So what I'm going to do, let's say type A for all traffic to everywhere. If I do that, that the provisioning of Redis is going to be okay, because currently what's happening, we have added the SSM parameter store and is looking to get fetch the details in security group. We don't have anything regarding the outbound traffic, so it is actually unable to talk to that particular service, so it is throwing up an error. So this is some of the stuff lots of people do struggle when they set up SSM and secret, in their container section. So if I navigate to the namespaces and if I click this guy, you see Redis, although it is active, but you see it is in progress. And if I navigate to this section, and you will see some of the traffic, health, and all the stuff is going to be available. But if I navigate to the cluster section, click this area, Redis, you will see, uh, tasks, and uh, we have to wait for a while because now we added something which needs to be fixed. So if I click the stop tasks, you'll see two stop um, tasks are there. But what ECS is going to do is going to keep a restart those failed stuff. So unless it is become healthy, right? So currently it is in pending state. So you see our ECS Service Connect is also in pending state. So let's try to refresh, wait for a while. So guys, I've intentionally added this stuff, although with Terraform, I can simply um add that particular security group outbound traffic. And this is, as I discussed, to give you more understanding regarding the debugging area, what we need to do and how to fix those errors to save the time as well. So again, let me navigate to the Redis section, wait for a while, tasks, right? Just waiting, you need to wait for a while, or might be, I'm going to pause the video. See again, one task has been provisioned. It is provisioning, and let's see if we get any error regarding that. So it is in pending state, and let's see. I'm going to go, guys, I'm going to pause the video, and once this task is healthy, I will be back with you guys. And sorry, fun thing for I forget to add. If you're using the private hosted zone, if you use the private subnets, you need to configure the NAT gateway, and the traffic is going to route through that NAT gateway to the SSM service. You need to upgrade the security groups, and if you're using the public subnet, you have already set up the IGW, which is the internet gateway, and you need to simply update the security groups regarding the configuration. You see, and the difference is that we have now our services healthy Redis and ECS Service Discovery. So this is something regarding the Redis, and if I navigate back to this section regarding um, the Redis. So you see it has completed successfully, which means the health of Redis is in a good shape. We are good to go. So you see one replica is there and it's completed and the state is now green. So this is something you need to have in your mind regarding the setup. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to navigate to our last part regarding the deployment of the Python application, right? So let's do that. So guys, if I navigate to the S3 bucket, I need to show you, you simply refresh this part. You see we have four objects. So simply scroll it down. This is our ECS service Redis application. The state of this is stored safely here with versioning enabled. right? Now what we are going to do, this time I'm going to do CD instead of opening one more tab. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to our Python application, and we need to do the updates, similar updates. So what I'm going to do regarding the updates, for instance, this area I need to update. For instance, I need to update this section regarding the namespace ARN, and I mean namespace is going to be same, but let me click this guy and I'm going to simply close this section regarding Redis. Now open the Python, and if I navigate to this Python section, you're watching this directly because previously I've already tested this. So that is why. So I need to update or get rid of this existing stuff because the namespace has ID is updated and namespace ARN, and the stuff regarding the this area regarding the SSM parameter store, you see account is different. Now I'm going to simply update the account here. So click this section, and I'm going to click this account area, right? And I'm going to simply do update here, press Control F and replace um, this area, right? So let's do that, replace all. So this part is done, and this is really important. This Python service is going to contact the Redis. It must be available and should be discoverable, right? So we don't need the service discovery regarding the Python because it is the front uh, facing application which is going to be publicly available. Let's try to run that, and this is going to be registered in our target group. But regarding this registration, I've also added one more issue, and I'm going to show you that deeper part as well. So Terraform init and Terraform apply dash auto dash approve. So this will create this Python task definition. Along with that, it is going to add the container and our environment variables and secrets. Along with that, it is going to create one service, but that particular service is not going to be healthy. And I'm going to show you that why it's not getting healthy. And this is also the issue lots of people face regarding the ECS setup, although they or even set up manually or through Terraform. What they need to do, I'm going to show you that part. So this is the stuff, guys, we are setting up, and let's see. So it is going to be the cloud watch, log group, and service. If everything goes well, it is going to quickly create that particular task definition, service, and CPU, the load balancing, and everything is going to be quickly done, right? So it has done that already. So if I navigate to this section and simply refresh it, right, you see on our Python and Redis directories are available regarding our backend. If I navigate to the target group section, if I click this guy, shortly it is going to register service here, but it will have some issues, and I'm going to show you why. Um, okay, so let's navigate to the cluster section, click clusters. Now we have two applications services available, but this Python is going to be unhealthy. It is although in progress, and some of the stop tasks why you will be seeing the stop task. I've intentionally added the issue here to show you guys. First of all, let me show you because it is going to register this guy here in the target group, which is a front-facing app. So regarding one entry, I need to tell you if I navigate to this load balancers section, click the DNS name. And if I navigate to this section, I need to update this Python-app, and I'm going to simply update the DNS regarding the application load balancer, although I've already tested in past. But this is the sandbox environment, things are changed, so this part is done. So if I navigate to load balancer section, right, everything seems to be okay, the rules which I've already covered, and now I need to show you guys regarding the stuff. All right, so let me close the stuff which we don't need to give you more understanding, the easy understanding. So, okay, now let's try to just refresh. This is the hosted zone it has created. So, you see, uh, and okay, this is the security group, and regarding service, this is the Python task, and some of the stuff we need to see regarding. You might think this is healthy, but service is healthy. It is actually contacted at that namespace, but if we shortly see some of the stuff regarding the state which the load balancer is going to do. So it is running, which means it is going to do the registration in the load balancer. Whenever we get to the target groups, Python, it will try to do register itself in this particular area. You see, it is unhealthy. Why it is unhealthy? We need to fix that. So, first of all, if I navigate to this task, it is healthy. So, if you scroll it down, so what I have done, I've intentionally added the public IP, guys. In the production environment, you need to make sure you set up the public IP set to false. Along with that, you should be able to add, I mean, you should add, I've added intentionally the public hosted, public subnets. You should use the private subnets, right? This is just for debugging purpose. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to my security group, inbound rules, and I'm going to add one more rule regarding the TCP, right? TCP port 5000, my IP, click this guy, paste the IP of this particular task just for debugging purpose. Okay, might be that particular task is removed because target group to remove those. So let's try to refresh it. Okay, no, it is still there. So we have this connectivity issue regarding, okay, connection reset by peer. So might be this is not available. Okay, okay, because it is going to delete that task. So if I navigate to the services section, okay, click this guy and take the IP address of this, paste it here, and 5000. Wait for a while. And also, okay, connection reset. So guys, if I navigate to this security group, what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate to add one rules regarding the TCP 5000. I'm going to allow the ALB, simply type ALB here, right? This is the application load balancer, save this guy. So let's see the status and what's happened. Okay, and wait for a while. So new, it is actually removing the previous stuff. So it is now initializing, and the health check is the port which we already set up on the port. So wait for a while. Okay, it's still unhealthy, which seems that we should be able to see our Redis and it is seems to be not working. I need to debug that part as well. Why it's not working? So guys, issue is regarding the application. So if you see, if I navigate to this service Redis, right, and in this Redis service, you see it has successfully registered here. So this is the service Redis, and it is registered. This is the cluster name. This is the ECS service name. So it is successfully registered. So issue is regarding the exception which is coming from the application side. So we need to fix it. And regarding the networking part, you see, you'll get this error. Once this is fixed at the application level, we have no issues. So regarding the security group, we have already added stuff. For instance, allow 5,000 port from the application load balancer, but the issue is at application level, so that's why it is not working right. And I need to check that, and it will take some time, but this is the basic networking. For instance, if you navigate to the security group, even I've allowed all traffic, and let me just do one more stuff, uh, is to allow all traffic from anywhere. But the point I just want to make here is to that the issue is regarding that application level. Let's try we have actually allowed all the traffic from anywhere, and the last thing we are going to do, we are going to check. So it is draining the previous stuff. So um, I mean, so this is currently available. So if I navigate to the cluster section, and if I click clusters, and here we have this Python application, right? So if I navigate to the task, it will allow it will allow it um, this task public IP. So let's try to do that, but definitely you need to check at the application level. So this application has uh, definitely some issues, but let's try to debug this. Uh, how we can do the fix, right? So guys, I've debugged it, and issue is actually coming from the application level. The reason I'm saying that, if you navigate to the task definition section of the application, Python application, right? And in the Python application, what I've done, I've updated to debug this part. I've updated the task definitions manually, and you see these are the task definitions. So previously we have this one and this two, and if I use this task definition, and in this particular task definition, if I click this guy, so what I've done, I updated the DNS name to Redis host to Redis host. So it will say the DNS resolution will not work. So we can check that. So let's try to simply update this. And what we are going to do, we are going to navigate to the clusters and click the cluster, click this guy, click Python app, and simply we are going to do the update. And the update is going to be with the task definition revision 2. And we will see previously the error was the exception, so which means now if the new task, so if I navigate to this task, remove the stop this existing task and stop the selected one. So what it does, it is going to provision a new task shortly, and then we are going to test that particular IP address. And if we see, we should not be able to resolve it. So regarding the resolution, we don't have any errors. So this, because I'm going to prove that. So this is exception coming from the Redis, and um, because of the some of the connection. But previously, as Redis was actually, it is actually the connection error. but we have some errors regarding the Redis, you know. Um, so if I test this part regarding that, so if I navigate back to this section, so okay, services and Python, and just try to refresh it, and you'll see shortly one task is going to be provision, and what happened is going to do the registration from here in the target group. So it has now deregistered, so you will see shortly one task is going to be available, and we have to be patient with this as I mean service is updated, and shortly it is going to provision one task. So let's try to refresh. So in deployment section, you will see shortly one deployment is going to be available. You see previously we have these failed tasks and it is in the draining stage. That's why we are unable to see one task. So it is going to provision that with the new, you see, the new revision. So if uh, we navigate to the networking section and just try to refresh it, it will assign this guy a public IP. So if I do simply paste it here and simply update the IP to, sorry, port to 5000, you will see the DNS resolution is not going to work. So let's check that. Okay, seems like my IP is updated. So I need to simply update the inbound rules and check my IP address regarding the port 5000. So, okay, seems to be okay, good. So we have to wait for a while to provision this. You see, now you see, name does not resolve. So previously the error was different, which is this one. So which means we have Redis exception, right? So regarding that. So anyway, if you like the video, like and subscribe the channel. Have a nice day. Thank you.